Bert Allen here. Thanks everybody for watching and listening. We have a very special guest today, as always. We're chatting with actor Alejandro De Hoyas about so many different things. Trigger warning, of course, a brand new Jessica Alba film, which is going to be coming to Netflix very soon. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Same here. It's awesome to be here in your show.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you. Will you play a really good bad guy or maybe misunderstood, depending on how you want to frame that? Of course, The Man from Toronto was so much fun, and this film looks amazing as well. But before we get into that, you have a very interesting background because you started out in business, very successful business owner, entrepreneur, and then became an actor. So which came first, the chicken or the egg, so to speak?
Yeah, both. I always love movies and TV and things like that. But I also like business. So I think I started combining when I was 18, 19. I started producing shows for singers, performers, like Laura Branigan,
Okay.
big Sylvester, big people. So I always liked the entertainment area, but I also do and did other businesses at the same time. And a few years ago, in my 30s, I started acting, and just a lot of commercials and occasional movie and TV show because I was still busy trying to raise a family and bring the business up, because the companies are very complicated, to make them profitable. So that's why I wasn't focusing as much on the acting until recently. After I shot my own film, The Contractor, then I got an agent for movies and a manager. And Jasmine Espada, my publicist, said, "You're like the Latino James Bond, so you need to be working a lot." So I arranged things so I could leave my companies taking care of while I'm shooting and doing what I want to do.
Yeah, well, that makes
That's
perfect
very
sense.
long, right?
No,
It's a
I think that's a
mouthful.
great way to describe it. And I think that's cool too, in the sense it probably helps you with the business side of the industry also, because you understand how things work.
Exactly. And now I'm producing, which is great. I'm not waiting for people to hire me, although I'm working a lot lately. Like you were saying, Man from Toronto, Trigger Warning, another one I did, Free Dead or Alive, Bosch Legacy. I just finished, a guest starring. I'm doing quite a lot lately. Right now, I'm in Albuquerque, actually.
Okay.
Um, yeah, we just started production of our next film, The Unexpected. So with Alejandro Montoya Marin
Yeah, very
directed.
familiar with him. I worked with him on a couple of films that he directed. I used to live in Albuquerque, so I'm very familiar. It's a great city to be in. So
Yeah,
wonderful food too. But I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah. I've been here before. My son went to college here, so to Santa
okay.
Fe, St. John's. So yeah, I just arrived last night, and we're getting to ready to shoot on Monday. Matt Walsh is also in the movie, which great
Love
guy.
Matt.
Yeah. So we're very excited. We're very excited that we're creating our own content and not, like I said, not waiting for somebody to just hire us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you can't do that because you might be waiting a long time.
Yes.
um, so let's talk about Trigger Warning. I know we can't give any spoilers, but it's a great film. The cast is top notch. What can we expect from you? And what can you tell us, if anything at all?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't say much because obviously my character. Um, if I tell you who I am and all that kind of, you would know immediately what happens. So
Yeah, yeah.
because
We
gives
don't want to
away,
spoil anything, of
yeah,
course,
it gives away the
but it
plot. But
looks
it
really
was,
good from what I've seen, the pictures and clips and things.
yeah.
It's very exciting.
Jessica Alba is somebody in the military, and something happens, and she goes back to her town to fix things, and she kicks butt, and she looks beautiful, and she's somebody that with a lot of character, so a strong woman. Just it's good. It's good to see that, and to also see the nice, side of the woman. So it's great. And it was the director, female director. It was great working with her. Um, very happy, very excited about the movie. I thought it was going to come out in January, but It's they're still working on a couple of things. I just did some ADR like a week ago, so they're getting ready. We don't know when. You know,
Yeah,
Netflix
well,
will decide.
soon enough, soon enough. And there's
Yeah,
other things that you've done for people to watch. So let's talk about The Man from Toronto. That was such a good movie, hilarious. Woody Harrelson, Kevin Hart. I mean, all of you do such a great job. What was it like working with them and just being around such caliber of talent? I mean, the film is really, really good and funny too.
yeah. No, it was awesome. It was amazing. I did the audition with my son. You send it in. You don't. I didn't even know who was in the movie, and then a few weeks later they say, Alex, you booked the main villain of the movie. You know, Men from Toronto. I was like, which one was that? And then I realized there was Kevin and Woody, Ellen Barkin. So I was really excited. I went to Toronto, where I was, 2 weeks just by myself in a room, like a hotel, and because of COVID, in the middle of COVID. Then finally, after 2 weeks, I get on set. Kevin comes and he gives me a hug. He's like, "Hey, buddy, I'm glad to see you. It's great to have you here." And then Woody comes from behind, and he's more proper. "Hey, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir." And so it was great. The director, Patrick Hughes, we needed a bad guy that doesn't. It's not the typical bad guy. So we're so happy to have you. So it's great. It's awesome. You have 200 people right there because it's a $75 million production. And they're all cool. Everybody's very friendly. Leela Lauren playing my wife. I mean, everything was good. It's you really have to focus when you're doing a film of that magnitude with so many people around. And yeah, you need to focus because if you screw up your lines or what you're doing, then you're stopping. All those people.
You don't want to be the one stopping people.
Right. So we did our scenes. It was fun. It was great. There was a lot of improvising from Kevin. So scenes were changed, scenes were cut, and that's just the way it is. But I love doing that movie. It's always nice to play a bad guy, and it's a comedy. It's fun.
Yeah, and that's the thing I think is really fun about the world that you're a part of is you just get to do so many fun and interesting things, right? And you really get to explore. If there was one thing that's important to you as we wrap here, that's like, I would say a non-negotiable maybe, or something that's important to you when you're looking at a character, what is one thing that goes, okay, this is something that's important to me before I take on a part or before I approach a character?
Yeah, well, lately it's what's important to me is that we as Latinos, Hispanics, we're not always seen as the typical. You could be a bad guy, but if he's a real guy, if it's a
Yeah.
caricature of a bad guy, a Hispanic caricature, then I'm not interested in that. I don't mind playing a really, really bad guy as long as it has nothing to do with you being Latino. It has to do with you being, as a human being, you're either a really, really bad guy or a good guy. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The reality of the humanity. Like I say in the movie that I wrote with my son, that the color of the skin or your nationality does not determine the morality of your character.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true. And I think that's important to understand. Well, congratulations on everything. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to chat with us. I'm excited to see what's next. And of course, trigger warning. And if you're watching and have not seen The Man from Toronto, it's streaming on Netflix as we speak. It's hilarious if you like action and comedy. And the premise of the movie is just funny, like within itself. Like it's a typical, not, I would say atypical, right? I mean, because it's like a man's going off, wants to spend a weekend with his wife, and then all hell breaks loose. That would be the best way to describe it.
Right. Yeah. And we have also The Contractor, the movie I produced and I starred in. It's still on some of the platforms, Tubi, things like that. It's out there.
Well, please be sure to check all of them out. And Alejandro, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure to meet you and chat with you today.
Thank you. It was awesome being here. And I'll see you next time.
Likewise. Okay. Thank you.